Good morning, Year 3. Welcome to today's writing lesson. Today we are going to be putting into practice all of the things that we've been working on so far this week. But before we have a look at our steps to success, I just want to say a big thank you to all of you that had sent in some videos of you practicing your noisy punctuation and all the oral rehearsal as well. It was really good to see. And also a big thank you to those of you who sent over pictures of your work from Monday's lesson. And I can see some excellent plans of your circus arena, and that's really going to help you today. So today is Write Day. Let's have a think about what we've been practicing so far and come up with some steps to success. So before anything else, I want you to write out today's date on the top of your piece of lined paper, very slowly, very carefully, making sure it's your best possible presentation. And then I also want you to write our LO for today, which you can also see, and that is to write a setting description. Pause the video now, write out the date and the LO and underline both of them with a ruler. Okay, so just go through our steps of success then. First of all, one of your steps of success for a successful piece of writing is to include prepositions. This is, of course, a setting description. So we want to use those prepositions to describe the different things that are within the circus tent. So using prepositions such as above, next to, behind, on top of, etc. Our next one is to use a and an correctly, okay? Now remember, we spoke about this the other day. We said that the general rule is if the noun is a vowel, the noun begins with a vowel, such as an egg begins with E, which is a vowel, we need an. If it's a consonant, we need a. So if we were saying a burger stall, B being a consonant, we would use a. If we were saying an acrobat, a is a vowel, so we would need an. So it's about you guys really stopping and thinking which one you need in that instant. So I'm going to write this down as our example. An acrobat. Okay, the next one, capital letters, sounds obvious, but once we're in the midst of writing and you've got all of these ideas flowing around your head, you're thinking, oh, I want to do this, I want to talk about this. Sometimes it can be really easy to write Leon without a capital letter. So for that reason, I'm going to write his name there. We always need a capital letter to begin a sentence and for proper nouns such as names. So Leon. Full stops, commas, similar kind of thing. Full stops, we know where they should be at the end of sentences. I'm going to put them there, like so. And they should be sat on the line too, may I add. And commas, a little bit more complex to grasp where they should go. We practiced it yesterday with a noisy punctuation. So mainly we're going to focus on implementing our commas after our fronted adverbials. So fronted adverbials is where an adverbial is at the front of the sentence. We often use this for place, and this is what we're going to be doing within our writing. The first one is of place. We're going to talk about another one very shortly. So fronted adverbial of place, it could be something like how we started yesterday. Outside. The circus tent, and there's that comma. Here's our fronted adverbial. We've put it to the front of the sentence. Outside the circus tent, Leon and his siblings were growing very excited. Okay, we've taken this, we've put it to the front. We could have gone, Leon and his siblings were growing very excited outside the circus tent, but this way we've got some variety to our writing. The example that I've written on the board here is a fronted adverbial of place. Now there are two other ones, so we've got fronted adverbial of time and fronted adverbial of manner as well. So the fronted adverbial of manner is also going to be one of our steps to success today, and it's going to be the Chile 3 objective. Okay, I will show you the Chile shortly. So Chile 1, 2, we want a fronted adverbial of place such as this. If you want to push yourself and really try and achieve Chile 3, we want a fronted adverbial of place, at least one, but we also want a fronted adverbial of manner as well. Okay, so I'm going to write that down there. So by manner, what we mean is the manner in which an action is performed. So it could be somebody entering a room. So it could be excitedly, he entered the room. Slowly, he entered the room. With a deep breath, he entered the room. With a spring in his step, he entered the room. Okay? All of the examples that I've just given tell us the manner in which our character has entered the room. Okay? So that is a fronted adverbial of manner. I'm going to go with a spring in his step, because that's quite a nice one. And that is where the comma steps to success is really, really important, because it would be a real shame if you produced a lovely fronted adverbial such as this, but didn't include the comma, because it cannot be classed as a fronted adverbial without that comma. Here are the Chile challenges. Chile 1, your challenge is to include a fronted adverbial of place. Chile 2, a fronted adverbial of place and to use adjectives to describe, a range of adjectives ideally. Chile 3, to use fronted adverbials of place and manner as well. Here's a guide about how I think you should map out your piece of writing. So first of all, it should all be about Leon and his siblings approaching the tent and waiting to go in. So we can discuss, walking past the helter-skelter, the big wheel, maybe we went past the candy floss stall, things like that. Then waiting outside, excitedly waiting to go in. This was the example that we used earlier for the fronted adverbial of place as well, outside the tent. Next part of our piece of writing, actually walking in. What does Leon see? Remember that new exciting word of mesmerised? Leon was mesmerised when he saw. And this is when we can refer to our plan, and we can talk about the tightrope, the trapeze artist, the animal enclosure, the sweet stall, the burger van, etc. Lots of different things that are in the circus tent. Okay, so that's the most important part, and that's where we want to get the adjectives in there. You might also be able to get in a front adverbial too in that particular time. Then the curtains slowly parting. So the show is about to begin. You've got a choice here. You can either tell us a little bit about the show. It doesn't have to, it's not a description about the show, however, but you can tell us a little bit about the shows, who the first acts are, whether it's jugglers or whatever, or you can leave it on a bit of a cliffhanger. The curtain slowly parted. Leon held his breath. Dun, 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 with our ellipses, and finish it there. Because remember, this is a setting description. It's not a description of what the show is like itself. Okay, boys and girls, good luck in your piece of writing. Before I go, as I often do with my class, I'm going to give you the chance to magpie the first sentence that I write on the board. If you want to use that sentence just to get you started, because I know sometimes that can be the sticking point, where kind of to start, feel free to use it. And then from then on, use the input that we've talked about so far, choose the Chile challenge that you're going for, and good luck. I can't wait to see your pieces of writing, and we'll talk about purple pen editing in tomorrow's lesson. Okay? Good luck.